Hello, good morning. I hope you're doing well. I want to take this chance and this morning to speak to you about something small regarding your destiny and regarding your life and your future. And I want to start by telling you this, that it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what you're going through, it does not matter where you have come from, it doesn't matter where you were born. What matters is you were born for a purpose, and you were born with a potential inside of you that was intended to impact the world and to change lives of people and to touch and transform souls of many. At times our history tends to limit us and hold us back and put us in a place of quagmire, and we find we can't progress because we are looking back and saying, I was born in this place, I grew up in this place, my parents were like this, my village was like this, the place I came from was like this, and the voice of history keeps you shrouded and grounded because you keep telling yourself that you have no predecessor, that there is nobody who has ever made it in your family, nobody who have succeeded, nobody who have gone to where you want to be or has achieved what you want to achieve. And these things keeps you down because every moment you want to do something, that voice comes to remind you that you are an outlier and that nobody has ever achieved it or done it. So today I want to share with you something small that I believe should revolutionize your thinking and change your mind and the way you perceive yourself and your life. I want to quote a verse in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. And this is where God was speaking to the young prophet Jeremiah and telling him, before you were born, I knew you. And before you were formed in your mother's womb, I chose you. And then he tells him, I appointed you to be prophet over nations. Now the problem is, majority of us, or majority of the human beings, we are like Jeremiah. We don't know that God knew us before we were born. We don't know that we were chosen for a purpose. And we don't know that we are appointed for a reason. And this is what I want to remind you today. That your birth, no matter what circumstances surrounded it, no matter the environment, no matter who your parents are, whether they are there or they are not, your birth was not a mystery to God. And that you are coming to this place was not an accident to him. I hear people talk about, I got this baby by accident, or I didn't intend, or this is an illegitimate child. But I want to correct this by saying there is no illegitimate child. There is nobody who is born out of God's, outside the purpose for which God ordained for them. Every single human being was born with a purpose and for a reason and the potential that they should exploit in this world to make an impact to the lives of many people. So today I want to remind you something small, that inside of you lies scenes of greatness, lies huge potential, huge reserve of potential that you should exploit to serve not only yourself, not only your family, but the world and many, many generations to come. Inside of you there is a seed of greatness. And when I talk about a seed, I've written it in my book and say seed has some qualities. And I'd like to highlight just a few of them in this video clip and tell you that number one is that seed retains its God-given ability to germinate until it falls in the right environment. There is a capacity inside of you. You have the capacity to germinate, the ability to grow, the ability to become something big and something mighty. But then also it requires you to participate by preserving that ability preserving the freshness of the seed that is inside of you. What do I mean? You have to take care of that which God entrusted you with. Maybe the environment is not right. Maybe the place you're in is not ripe for you to express. But then take care of that which God put inside of you. Choose your friends. Choose your associations. Choose the places to be. Choose your networks. Carefully knowing that there is something inside of you, and all these associations and friendships and networks are likely to affect it in the long run, or rather even in the short run sometimes. Then, number 2, you have to know that if a seed falls on the wrong environment, it will never germinate, no matter what. If you take a seed and place it on a concrete floor, for example, it won't germinate no matter how much you pour water into it, how you fertilize it. Whatever you give it, it will not germinate. And therefore, same case with the seed that is deposited inside of you. You have to choose your environment, where you spend your time, where you stay, wherever you feed your mind, wherever you feed your heart, and whatever the people you relate with. You have to be very careful, conscious, selective, and intentional, because they form environment or the ecosystem in which your seed is, and they can easily influence it to the negative. And then the third quality of any seed is that it has the ability to become a forest. It's very simple logic. When you take a seed, one seed, and plant it, it will give you a tree, for example, of its own kind. And when you take this tree, it will give so many fruits. And in each of these fruits, there will be a seed, or at least seeds. When you take these seeds again and plant and do the process continuously, repeating itself, in a matter of time, you'll be having so many trees that they can form a forest out of one seed. Same case applies to you. The seed that you're carrying, you have to know that you have the ability to multiply, to increase, and to influence not only villages but nations and generations, and you have the ability to impact globally. And that's the ability of your seed to become a forest. Then fourth quality of any seed is that it has the ability to become a company. Now here is where it gets nice. The moment you have a forest, let's say for a forest of fruits trees, if you harvest those fruits, you can end up making a factory manufacturing either juice or fruit salads or whatever the product of that tree is. If it's a timber tree, you can end up having a factory that is manufacturing furniture out of that just single seed. So remember that inside of you, you might be working for somebody now, employed somewhere, doing whatever you're doing, but just know that inside of you there is the ability to become a company. There is the ability to multiply and increase and cause a change. And now, here comes the last quality, or the fifth quality of the seed. The fifth quality is that if the seed rots, the fruit rots. Those who have done agriculture will tell you this, that the freshness of a fruit is based on the freshness of the seed inside it. So if you let the seed that is inside of you to rot, your future, your entire you get rotten. So you have to safeguard your seed, take care of it, and keep it in mind that you are born great, you are born for greatness, you're born with a purpose, you're born for a purpose, and your being here is not accidental by any means. You could be an accident, a biological accident to your parents. You could be an illegitimate child to some human being somewhere. But know this, in the sight of your Creator, you are not an illegitimate child. God holds you dearly, loves you, and loves you so much. Keep it in mind from today. Move out and walk with your shoulder high, remembering that you're a child of God, and He gave you a destiny. It's upon you to move out and possess that destiny.